Hello, my name is Stevie Lopez, and I'm going to give you an introduction into my classroom. First, I just want to kind of show you my view. This is my classroom. It's kind of the smallest classroom in the world, but yeah, we make it work. I'm going to give a kind of brief overview of what I expect from my class. I went through some of these things. I went through a more extensive PowerPoint during the first day of school, but I'm just going to kind of give you guys a little insight as to what we do in here. So pretty much, who am I? I am a graduate from the school I'm teaching at. I graduated from Fresno State, and it took me a while, but it was definitely worth all the obstacles. And I coach softball here at the school that I teach at. And I enjoy everything about it. Just some of the basic rules. I'm going to go through them pretty quick. Respect, really huge on that. Just to be responsible, students bring their agenda. They fill that out every day. The AR book, to be prepared. Don't abuse the bathroom system. Food and snacks, I definitely is a no-no in my class just because there are cockroaches here on campus. I'm not about all that. Respect my things. Obviously, I have a lot of things here. Keep the classroom clean. Interruptions on their own time. I'm teaching them how to, when it is appropriate to interrupt. Phones, definitely a big no in my class. I do have a phone prison, which I put students' phones into when, they're on it and they're not supposed to be on it. I have a charging station in my classroom, which is by my desk, and it is a designated area for the students to charge their phones, and I do that for multiple reasons. I have a mom box, which includes like flip-flops, Band-Aids, feminine supplies, glass cleaner, pretty much anything, deodorant, anything you could think of that the students may need while they're on school and they just may have forgot it, they've had a bad day, whatever it is, they come to my classroom and they know where it's located. And I'm as strict as you'll make me. Pretty much my students know that this classroom is very disciplined, and I haven't got to that level yet, so I'm not too worried about that. Here are just a few classroom expectations and procedures I outlined for parents on back to school night. My expectations: to come prepared. This is an A through G requirement. They have to take this class to graduate. The majority of my students are going to college, so be prepared with their binder, novel, agenda, writing journal. To be an active learner. I stress family in my class, to respect their family members. They're not just their peers, they're their family members because they're growing together. Classroom rules: be responsible. Procedures, just an idea of what we do on a day-to-day basis. We have words of the day that deal with the book that we are reading. We're currently reading To Kill a Mockingbird, so we have words that deal with what they are reading. To fill out their agendas when they come in, and their homework if they have homework for that day. I don't have too much homework. The students know that. It's pretty much just any classwork that goes unfinished, and AR, they definitely have to read. I lied. AR is pretty much their only homework they have to do. Unless they haven't finished anything in class. We do chapter quizzes just to hold them accountable for their reading. We have reading, writing, classwork, or activities that we go through. And then we review the homework towards the end of the period, what reading they have to do if they need to finish it because they didn't do it in class. Any late work that they're working on. I do take late work. It just depends on how late it is, and they know the rules for that. And I do a fist bump. I make it a rule to have some physical contact with my students once they leave. Just, it's kind of like a hi and a bye. And it's cool because when I'm on campus, they're always like, "Miss Lopez, give me a fist bump before you leave," or "Hey," so they know about the fist bump. Grading policy, I'm not going to go through this because it's a lot and I'm already at 4 minutes, but they're going to be issued every 6 weeks. Students will always know what their grades are. I am constantly updating them. I stay after school to make sure they're updated. The grades are based on the following, which is classwork, homework, AR points, exams, quizzes, writing projects, participation, and citizenship. Late work, again, it is acceptable. It is deducted 2 points every day that it's late unless they've talked to me about why it would be late. And the best way for my students and parents to contact me is through my email. I've already had a few parents contact me via email and I respond right away. These are my students. If you see up here, I call them my students because they are my babies. I stay on them. I make sure that I push them, and I'm always checking their grades to make sure, hey, you know, you need to turn this in, get on it. And I definitely want my students to succeed in my classroom. So there's just a little insight to my classroom. I know it's dark. Again, I have limited space, but I make it work. I'm very adamant about college. I love college. Here's my charging station over here. Students plug their phones in here. I have a no-name board right here. It's when students don't put their names on their paper, which I find it very common. But yeah, just a little insight to my classroom. I feel like it's home. My students love it, and I can't wait to see what this year brings me.